called upon to operate radar screens in order that we may know in advance of any approaching weather fronts. All across the country, weather bureaus have been established to sort out the millions of intricate pieces of information that are in turn given to highly experienced meteorologists. All of these technological advancements are extremely helpful in predicting short-term weather patterns. However, when one is seeking a truly accurate, long-term weather forecast, the eyes must leave the skies in search of a groundhog. Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers and the greatest weather prognosticator the world has ever known.
Everyone wants to see the only true prognosticating groundhog do his prediction.
Phil is here tonight. Oh, he's so cute. We're all just here to see what Phil has to say.
2 scrolls. One says winter, one says spring.
World's most known groundhog.
That's Howard.
That's why we're here! Punxsutawney Phil! What do you think, buddy? Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye.
Citizens of Gobbler's Knob, faithful followers of Punxsutawney Phil, I stand before you to announce the forthcoming of the host for this morning, assigned to keep you entertained beyond a shadow of a doubt. The perpetuators of the legend, standard bearers of mirth and merriment, the men who wear their hearts on their sleeves and splash spaghetti sauce on their bow ties like aftershave. The unclassically trained singers with improper and questionable dance moves, David Thunder Conductor Gelati and Dan Moonshine McGinley.
Well, you made it. Groundhog Day 2021. We've pretty much got the place to ourselves, but we're glad you can join us however you could. We know that you're here to see a groundhog, and we're going to get to that, but right now, Punxsutawney Phil is still sleeping right here in his burrow, and we're going to let him keep sleeping for just a couple more minutes. In the meantime, this is the Thunder Conductor. He might not be as handsome as Punxsutawney Phil, but he's just as hairy.
And this is Moonshine, and he may be the true reason why Punxsutawney Phil does not speak, because Moonshine likes to talk so much.
We are just 2 of the members of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club Inner Circle. The rest of the members will be here shortly, and they're an integral part of what we do, but so too are many other people who you don't always see on camera, including our announcer, Phil Cushing, Old Man Winter. He's been doing this for over 25 years, and we thank him and everyone else who helps participate in this holiday.
And Moonshine and I host the pre-party, which typically attracts tens of thousands of the faithful followers of Punxsutawney Phil. They gather here at Gobbler's Knob to sing and dance and celebrate all night long, until Phil comes out at dawn to give his annual prognostication. But instead, this year, we're all alone because somebody forgot to mail the invitations.
I mail the invitations in the even years. You do it in the odd years.
You were supposed to mail them last year, Dan.
Last year was odd.
2020's even.
Well, I mean, it was peculiar.
Certainly was that. But anyway, not only do we party all night long here at Gobbler's Knob, we've managed to stretch this party over the whole weekend. in several days, with a plethora of events all centered around Punxsutawney's biggest celebrity, Phil.
If you've never been here before, where you been? We've been doing this since 1887. But not to worry, you're cordially invited to join us for next year's party. And for a sneak peek of all that you can enjoy, check this out. Thunder finally got his Jumbotron.
This dear life is built upon choices, trials you face every day, force you to grow your character.
Berkeley Square is really the center of a lot of our activities on Groundhog Day. Very family-oriented. Children just love it.
Reveal who you one day become.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's
Everyone's really, really nice in a small town.
Choice really comes.
We also have a great chainsaw demonstration in Berkeley Square where Wizards Workshop does groundhog sculptures and lots of other fantastic wood carving.
Be out of luck. You'll be wearing your sunglasses in the pouring rain.
Punxsutawney bills itself as the weather capital of the world, and so if you want to see how they're truly carrying that out, you have to come to the Weather and Discovery Center. It's everything from folklore to science to fun. It's all fun, actually, and the building itself is really cool.
The prognosticator in residence, right here upon this hill, the only original Punxsutawney Phil.
Well, the members only reception is an event we throw for all the members of the Groundhog Club. So anyone in the world can join the Groundhog Club and then get a chance to come and meet Phil, talk to Phil, get a picture with Phil, maybe try to influence his decision.
There's only one groundhog.
During the year, the knob is always open and it's available for you to take pictures from the actual stage and the stump where Phil appears on February 2nd.
Right now we're at the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club headquarters. This is our office location and it also houses our historical memorabilia.
Worm self out walking himself.
Groundhog Banquet is traditionally held the night before Groundhog Day.
This is the Michigan table, Michigan 14, welcome. However we need to keep you happy, you know, the Michigan. It's our first line of defense, really, against the Canadians.
Hey, it's yours. Come on up.
Table 10, unity. Table 8, watch out. Miss Pence Pennsylvania is here, so we want to acknowledge her. And what brings you to Punxsutawney? What's the draw for you?
Phil, absolutely.
Well, that's why we're here. We're just trying to get a little bit of information from people like you, where you come from, where do you bank, what's your account number, passwords, things like that. Are you seeing anyone, etc.
Hey kids, shaking us together. The spotlight's hitting southern. It's known to change the weather. A kid of fire and Compton, not so stick around. Gonna hear the legs and music, sort of walls of sound. Turn it around and haven't seen him yet. All the soul spaced out about the Punxsutawney Phil.
Hey there, I'm Camille Schreier, Miss America 2020, and as a native of the Keystone State myself, I am pleased to wish you a happy Groundhog Day, hoping that Punxsutawney Phil does not see his shadow today so that we can all have an early spring and a great rest of our 2021.
Gather round, everyone, and let us tell you the tale of Punxsutawney Phil. Once upon a time, in the tiny hamlet of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, the people grew desperate for relief from winter's unrelenting grip. The only cure was spring, but when would it arrive? Soon word spread of a great weather prognosticator.
People want to know what the weather is, and so people therefore follow Punxsutawney Phil because of his outstanding extreme accuracy.
A solitary figure had emerged with the ability to predict the changing weather.
My mother and father would told us about this groundhog seeing his shadow.
Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, had arrived, and thus it began that every February 2nd would be known as Groundhog Day.
The tradition of Groundhog Day began in 1886. German settlers in western Pennsylvania once called it Candlemas.
There's an old German couplet, and it is, if Candlemas Day be fair and bright, come winter, have another flight. If Candlemas brings clouds and rain, go winter and come not again.
Candlemas Day and now Groundhog Day are halfway between the beginning of winter and the end of winter.
Remember, if he sees a shadow, 6 more weeks. No shadow, spring is here.
We are now going to reveal to the world what Punxsutawney Phil had to say.
I don't know, I think it's just kind of a tradition, you know.
And for over 130 years, the wonderful and unusual tradition has endured.
With those traditions in mind, a group was formed, committed to keeping the legend of Candlemas alive. They were called the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club.
About 1931 was when the club formally incorporated.
Phil was the king of groundhogs. That was the term that they used at that time.
Oh, we're going up the hill to talk to the king of the seer of seers.
From there, abundant coverage from the newspaper industry spread the word of the legend of Punxsutawney Phil.
At that time, it was disclosed that a special elixir of life had been brewed and fed to Phil, and each sip he would gain 7 years of life. And so the legend grew, and Gobbler's Knob became the place for the biggest midwinter party anywhere.
But in 1993, the holiday gained worldwide fame when the movie Groundhog Day was released. The movie was such a success that it drew the intrigue, interest, and allure of tens of thousands of would-be believers who came to Gobbler's Knob to witness the now famous movie star and his famous prediction.
Hey, Groundhoggers, happy Groundhog Day. This is John Levitch coming to you from New York City, the Guinness World Record holder for the largest gingerbread village in the world. You know, I've been coming to Punxsutawney for almost 30 years now. I've stood up on that hillside and froze to death in weather you can't even imagine. I've been up there when it was below zero, freezing rain, sleet. I've been through 4 Inner Circle presidents, 53 Inner Circle members. Let me tell you, I've seen it all. And I have no doubt we'll be back together in 2022 to party on Gobbler's Knob. So sorry we can't be together this year. Let's just try to enjoy it virtual. We know Phil's gonna give us the right answer like he always does. So happy Groundhog Day, and we will see you next year.
The event became a staple for every bucket list.
Bucket listers!
And a must-see for anyone who happened to share a birthday with the high holiday.
Birthday boy out there somewhere, happy birthday!
This new wave of faithful followers were added to the already loyal fans. The long-standing devotees, combined with the newly established admirers, created a most impassioned legion that has continued to flock to Gobbler's Knob year after year, culminating with a record-breaking attendance.
This might be the largest 335 crowd we've ever had.
On the Groundhog Day, known as the Philindrome, 0202-2020.
Gentlemen, get Phil out. Punxsutawney Phil!
Hello, this is Stephen Tobolowsky in Los Angeles celebrating Groundhog Day. Strange times. I want to say, remember that Groundhog Day itself is the holiday to celebrate strange times. In the ancient text, the holiday began about 1,000 years ago. It was strategically placed between the winter solstice and the spring solstice, and if on that particular day an animal saw its shadow, not groundhog, initially, in the texts, it says it was a lion, a snake, or even a rabbit, saw its shadow, it meant that that was a time for you to go out and gather sticks for the hard winter that was to come. Groundhog Day is here to tell us that it is our strange days that make us stronger. My best wishes are to all of you. I'm glad I'm not there because I'm already freezing here in Los Angeles. Love to you. Bye-bye.
It's the strange days that make us stronger. Good sentiment. And let's be honest, there's nothing stranger than what we do here. But we embrace that strange. We make that strange fun. We turn that strange into a party.
To the Thundertron.
Groundhog Day in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. No question, that is the party of the year anywhere in the world.
You have to. I mean, it's Groundhog Day.
The celebration is on, right?
I mean, Groundhog Day, the best holiday ever.
Oh my gosh. Like a family reunion for us.
Where else would you want to be but right here in Punxsutawney?
Absolutely.
But you know what? Last year, it was the first time that we ever had back-to-back early spring predictions.
Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, prognosticator of all prognosticators, was awakened from his burrow. In Groundhog Ease, Phil directed the president and the inner circle to his prediction scroll. There is no shadow of me, a beautiful spring it shall be. There is no shadow of me, spring it'll be early, it's a certainty.
So we got to make our predictions.
All right.
I'm calling for 6 more weeks of winter, Jen.
Early spring. I mean, look, it's a warm
That is
climate.
a bold prediction.
Yeah. Remember these are vintage.
Hey, you know what? One thing's for sure. We'll see you next year.
Groundhog!
Groundhog Day in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. No question, that is the party of the year anywhere in the world. The party of the year, the party of the year, the party of the year, the party of the year.
Is that you?
The party of the year.
You and your toys.
Party of the year.
Let the people go.
Is it early spring or winter? 6 weeks more. Groundhog style. Groundhog style. In Punxsutawney. In Punxsutawney. In Punxsutawney, you're a groundhog. What Punxsy Phil say? Ring ding 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 ding. Ring 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 ring. Ring ding 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 ding. What does Phil say? Wop pop 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 pow. Wop pop 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 pow.
Please welcome back to the stage the Groundhog Day house band, the Beagle Brothers.
Well, it dances over here and it dances over there and it keeps on dancing everywhere, singing hey yo Alina, hey ho Alina, hey yo Alina, hey ho Alina, singing hey yo Alina, what tonight? What do you got, Reed?
I love you with all my heart. Will you marry me?
She said yes.
the screenwriter of Groundhog Day, a man who's introduced the phrase Groundhog Day to mean the same thing happened over and over again, Danny Rubin.
So you've seen the movie?
Hi, it's Danny Rubin from Santa Fe, New Mexico, as we all gather around our fires and celebrate another Groundhog Day. It's been pretty common to start thinking of every day as being a little bit like this, but no, today should be different. And usually we put on funny hats and act a bit goofy and silly as a way of protesting against the darkness and showing hope for the future. This year I'm feeling a little bit more somber and wanted to do something a little more introspective, quiet, relaxed. So Louise and I decided to light a fire and have a few friends over. Don't worry, they're all in our bubble. Maybe read a good book. You guys want to get a little closer? That's good. Happy Groundhog Day, everybody. Hi, Phil.
I've been waiting for this moment. Feels good to be alive on Groundhog Day. Where's your husband? Clear the way. Clear out of that guy with the phone. Move out of the way. Before the last time Liz was here, she didn't have a husband. She didn't have kids. That guy did this to you. So shoot him. And now my hands are just a little bit colder. I just want to use your gloves tonight. I forgot to bring my gloves tonight.
So I will be announcing the lip sync battle between Moonshine and the Thunder Conductor.
Car with a platinum wheel.
Howdy, 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 howdy. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Howdy, 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 howdy.
Skiddly-boo, skiddly-boo, skiddly-boo.
Hallelujah. Girl said you hallelujah. Girl said you hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch.
Thunder Conductor. Okay. I know the pressure's on. Okay. Moonshine!
It's a tie! I'll wait here at Gobbler's Knob. I'm gonna cover myself with the shadow of Phil, and this winter's gonna stick around. Groundhog Day! Give us the news. 6 more weeks.
I want to see you in the back moving this way.
Groundhog Day! If it can't be spring, I'm on a high day.
Some people claim that there's a groundhog to blame, but I know it's Bill Dilly's fault.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's furry friend, little Punxsutawney Phil.
Mama, she told me don't worry about your size. Come on. She said boys like a little more booty to hold at night.
No sleep in Punxsutawney.
The lights since we started this show, yo, Thunder, get on the mic, my bro.
See the USA, they call me up today, but I'm Thunder today. Like 11 to 11, 11 to 11. I start my mornings with my buddy Moonshine.
Rainmakers if the handlers know how to get filled up to start the show. Wake up, Phil, get on your way. You're giving us the weather
On Groundhog Day.
empty speaks. Chances are this winter's going 6 more weeks.
Hands in the sky, hands in the air, and it's hands. Everybody sway back and forth. Touching hands, touch each other. Reaching out, touch somebody else. Touching me, sing it. Take it away, Puxy. Whoa. Phil. Life is short, praise the groundhog. Everybody say, life is short, praise the groundhog. Yeah. Well, we coined us a term, a philindrome. My genome, it's a syndrome. Make me roam to my home in this town.
They're calling us together, writing us forever. Wish my dream would never go away. The moment that I stepped onto the knob, it took my breath away.
Thank you, Katie Donald, the executive director of the Groundhog Club. She's like the Wizard of Oz. She's behind the curtain. Thank you, Katie Donald, for all you do.
Here we go.
Katie!
Well, I see the top hats are coming.
They think they're stars of Groundhog Day.
Where do you all get those silly nicknames? I am the reason for today. Well, waited around all night. It's Phil they recognize. Oh, you top hats, get a life. Here we go. I hear the fireworks exploding. I pray the end is coming soon. I see your talent is eroding. I hear Dave singing way off tune. Well, waited around all night. It's Phil they recognize. Oh, you top hats, get a life. Here we go. Play those kazoos, boys.
Hey, Pittsburgh Dad here. And I just want to give a shout out to you guys up at Punxsutawney for this Groundhog's Day. Now, I know things are going on a little bit different up there with the virtual, but I trust yins will knock it out of the park just like yins always do. And you know, Phil's the prognosticator of prognosticators. Well, my wife calls me the jagnosticator of jagnosticators. So, Phil, I'm thinking when this is all done, you take a little trip. How's about Vegas? Because we all know you get them forecasts right. I want to see them skills translate to the old blackjack table. Because if so, me and you's come back very rich guys. And Inner Circle, guys, I got a job for you, too. When Phil and I's gone, you guys go out and scour the woods and find another special woodland animal. I don't know, find a fox that can find a fountain of youth or something. Because there's a quarterback here in Pittsburgh. Sure could use it. All right, you guys, have a great Groundhog's Day. And Phil, here's to you not seeing your shadow. Bring that spring early, baby. I'll see you.
We would just like to thank all the military men and women here and around the world who are out there keeping us safe so we can do silly things like this. A lot of years you can't be here. This year, no one can be here. But for all of you stationed around the world, thank you. Happy Groundhog Day.
And now our national anthem.
Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. The place I've never been, but I've met one of the most interesting people in the world that I've ever met in my life from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, which is John Esposito. And he always spoke very highly of this place. And it felt like a fairy tale to me growing up and seeing this Groundhog Day event. And I just was always so fascinated by it. And then when I met him, I really understood this is a place with some of the most interesting people in the world. And I'm so glad I get to meet that crazy guy. And now I'm here today singing the national anthem for the Groundhog Day event. So let's sing it and have a wonderful Groundhog Day. Om say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I love you, Punxsutawney. Happy Groundhog Day.
Let's shout it out.
Will you marry me?
It takes everybody away from their humdrum, busy lives and lets them come to a place where it's just about having fun.
There's something innocent about it, and something fun about it, and something quirky about it. Some reason to go out and believe in something. It's just fun to believe in.
Happy Groundhog Day!
We said earlier that the inner circle would be with us shortly, and there's a little change in the daylight, which means dawn is around the corner. So the top hats are about to come on down. I can see them straightening their bow ties on the horizon. They're about to make their trek.
And then people often wonder who these guys are. Let's go up to the Thundertron and have a look. Happy Groundhog Day and welcome. If you just watched our special thank you, we hope you enjoyed it. But the time has come. Old Man Winter, send in the top hats. Cue the trek. Yeah. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, won't you please give a rousing welcome to the inner circle of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club as they make their annual trek to Gobbler's Knob.
looking live at Gobbler's Knob at dawn from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Happy Groundhog Day. Thank you for joining us wherever you are. Normally, there are thousands of you here with us, helping us celebrate. This year, a few of you did manage to sneak in replica form. We have your cutouts. We've put you down front. Your avatars are our crowd, and you look great, and thank you. But without the thousands of you here, live in person, we really didn't know what to do with ourselves this year. We tried to take advantage of it and fill the time the best we could. Housekeeping, really. We changed some light bulbs. We fixed that wobbly fence post. We vacuumed the stage. Since last year's prediction, Punxsutawney Phil got a new tree stump. The old one was looking a little worn, and we retired it to the Hall of Fame. This one's been here a few months, but I can assure you that the whole place still has that new stump smell. It's overpowering. Anyway, since that last prediction in 2020, it's been a unique year. And during that year, we've noticed that people all around the world have latched on to Groundhog Day. On radio and television, trending on social media, even in talking to your friends and family from afar, people have been referencing Groundhog Day. It has felt like at times we're all living the same day over and over again. And while Groundhog Day has come to mean that, Groundhog Day also shows us that the monotony ends. The cycle will be broken. Some days it might not feel like it, or you might not believe it. But today actually is Groundhog Day. There's only one. And there is quite literally a new day coming up over the horizon right there. And it looks pretty good. And today feels like Groundhog Day. For real. Now, for the main event, Thunder or Circle?
Okay, folks, the inner circle of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. Let me first introduce an emeritus member, Rusty Johnson, a decorated World War II veteran. This is his 50th trek to Gobbler's Knob, termed the Chief Health Man. Emeritus member, Bill Cooper, the Wind Warden. Emeritus member, Digger Odell, Bill Daly. And we'll start on this side with Ozone, Pat Osakowicz. Pat Cassidy, the head huntsman, a new member. Jeff Groob, Sky Painter. Jason Grusky, the Big Chill. John Johnson, Chief Health Man. Jory Siriann, Daybreaker. Our other new member, Rob McCoy, Downpour. And one of our esteemed members, Iceman. And up front, we got AJ DeRoom, his handler. We have our vice president, the shingle shaker, Tom Dunkel, and Jeff Lundy, our president. Sir, here you go. Oh, well, wait a minute. We got it. Okay, he's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world, safely in your home, we welcome you to the 135th annual prognostication by Punxsutawney Phil. I'm Jeff Lundy. I'm president of the Groundhog Club, and my role today is to try to interpret what Phil tells me. And in order to do that, I've been given a special cane, and I'm going to ask the former president, Mr. Dealey, to hand me that cane. Thank you. With this cane, I can communicate with Phil. But before we do that, let me tell you that could it be a shadow and 6 more weeks of winter? Or could it be no shadow and an early spring? Well, we're going to find out here shortly. Prior to the event today, I talked to Phil. Phil had us prepare 2 scrolls. One is a winter and one is spring. Shingle Shaker, do you have those scrolls? Can you place those scrolls on the stump? And I would ask if we have his royal carpet. If you could get those scrolls out. And one is winter and one is spring. What I'm going to do now is we're going to get Phil up. And how do we get Phil up? Usually there's 30, 40,000 people who are yelling, Phil, Phil, Phil. We're going to ask you at home in front of your TV or live streaming to join us and get Phil up right now. Phil, 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 Phil. I think we're ready. Are you ready at home? We're ready. AJ, are you ready?
I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seer of seers, the great Oz of weather forecasting, Punxsutawney Phil. Gentlemen, let's find out what Phil has to say. Come round. Hi, what do you think? Wait a minute, let me. This one? Is it this one? Okay. Okay. Oh, you look beautiful today. All right. We think we have a prediction. Shingle shaker. Can you read the prognostication?
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Now, this second day of February, 2021, the 135th annual trek of Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, the prognosticator of all prognosticators, was awakened from his burrow at 7:25 a.m. by his handler and friend on this quiet morning where few can attend. In Groundhog He's, Phil directed the president and the inner circle to his prediction scroll that reads, "It's a beautiful morning, this I can see, with all my fans viewing virtually. My faithful followers being safe and secure, our tradition of Groundhog Day must endure. We have all passed through the darkness of night, but now see hope in morning's bright light. But now, when I turn to see, there's a perfect shadow cast of me. 6 more weeks of winter there will be."
Ladies and gentlemen, Punxsutawney Phil has made his prediction. It's 6 more weeks of winter. But I want to tell you, he also told us after winter, you're looking forward to one of the most beautiful and brightest springs you've ever seen. I'm going to turn it back over to Moonshine. Thank you. And all yous at home, stay safe.
I have one, thank you. Hey, all right, winter it will be. And if you're keeping score at home, that is 106 years Punxsutawney Phil has seen his shadow. 106 winters, 20 springs, 10 years lost to history. We have no record, but it will be a winter. So until we see you again right here next year, gentlemen, happy Groundhog Day.
Happy Groundhog Day!